Welcome back to the Jungle Podcast. I'm your temporary host, Ransom Soles, and today we'll be delving deep into the topics such as basketball and volleyball here at the Kings Academy. So today I'm joined by two players of both basketball and volleyball, Dominic Hunter and Isaiah McCoy. Please welcome. How's it going, boys?
Good. It's a great
Doing
day.
well?
Yes,
All
sir.
right. So let's not waste any time. Dominic, you play basketball. Isaiah, you play volleyball. You also play basketball here and there. I heard you're an LA Fitness Demon, but we'll get to that later. So, Dom, we'll focus on basketball for right now. What coach has helped you kind of develop your game, and how they done so? Like, which one is the one coach that you kind of go to for on and off court situations you have to deal with?
I would say both of the coaches at Kings really look out for you. It's more than basketball for them. But Coach Samant, for sure, he helped me with some mental stuff and how to really take my game to the next level and how to be a better person on and off the court.
That's great. So, has either of the coaches in particular, like, kind of spot, like they really put like effort into you, or like giving you a platform to kind of better your skill set?
Yeah, Coach Samant, he'll be here at 6:30 in the morning, open up the gym so we can get some shots up and get better every day. So
That's what's up.
Yeah.
So, Isaiah, you also play basketball. Which has any coach in particular kind of seen something in you that you didn't see in yourself, or anything that they've pointed out that's really helped you?
Yeah, I would also agree that Coach Lamont has definitely been my biggest influencer for this season. He's shown me that it's not that hard to be a big man. You just got to be willing to work hard and commit to the position. Yeah. He's taken the time to open the gym at 6:30 in the morning for us to do breakfast club. I'm really happy that he does that for us.
So, Dom, take me through why you're crying right now.
I just get emotional when we talk about this basketball stuff. You know what I'm saying? Coach Lamont's a great guy. He really helps me a lot.
All right. So, Dom, I heard and have seen for myself firsthand, you are a stellar free throw shooter. Walk through what has brought this 100% free throw percentage throughout the whole season. How does one become so, fantastic?
Well, I kind of joined varsity after everyone else. Everyone else on the team was already there. I had to keep going, keep grinding to make varsity. And I knew I had to stand out. I had to do something that other people couldn't. So I knew if I could hit 100% of my free throws.
And you did.
I don't know if anyone else in the county has done that.
I don't think in the history of the world. That's what's up. That's what's up.
You know what I'm saying?
All right. And Isaiah, you did something that no one else can. People can hit free throws here and there.
Yeah.
No one can dunk like you can.
Thank you.
So tell me how, you almost strike fear in the opponent's eyes. Glass is about to be raining on them after you dunk, because the backboard just looks like it's about to shatter every time you go up and just absolutely destroy that rim. So how did you get to be that athletic and just coordinated?
I think I owe credit to my dad because he's an athlete, and without him, I wouldn't be here. So
that's good.
Yeah, and I had to do a lot of vertical training as a kid, and I started when I was in 5th grade to improve my vertical. My dad wouldn't let me not work hard. He expected the most out of me and wanted the most out of me, so he really put in that work for me. I've been the most improved player for the last 3 years, so I'm hoping for a 4th year now.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if you get it, because, man, at the beginning of the season, you were a dog on the boards, but by the end of the season, I think everyone was scared to catch you in the paint, because I know when Dom tried to block you one time, I just heard him scream for his absolute life because he was about to get postered. It didn't happen.
Never happened.
It didn't happen. All right. So yeah, sometimes parents like that can get frustrating at times, but they really help in the long run. So that's great. And what really got you into basketball? What was the kind of the sparking feature that what really drew your attention to the game of basketball?
So I always played basketball since I was a kid, and I just remembered I stopped playing for a little bit. I just wanted to stop doing sports, but I wanted to do some, and I realized basketball, it can help you as a man. You can grow, and you can get determined for something. So, yeah.
That's good. I found that kind of in my own life as well. Like, if you like, I used to lack like a ton of work ethic. Then I really started working hard in basketball, and so it brought a lot into like regular life, school, work, everything. So that really helped me as well. So that's good to hear. And how did you get into volleyball? I know your mom's a coach. Your dad played sports in high school and college, and so like you may have a different background than Dom, but like was there almost like an outside pressure from your parents to play sports, or was it kind of an internal drive?
I was definitely forced into volleyball. I never wanted to play volleyball in my life.
Yeah.
I didn't know what that sport was. But after the first few years of starting it, I really started to like love the environment I was around and the people I hung around. Like I've known Jake Manning since my first year of volleyball.
Dang, that's a lot. That's a long time.
Yeah, and it's great to be reunited and play with him again this year. So it really came from my parents finding the love for this sport.
Yeah. But after some time and learning that you kind of had to learn that you love the sport. It didn't just come to you.
Yeah, I wasn't like.
And being so tall and being such an athlete, like, I mean, you have like a leg up on a lot of people. So I feel like that can make the sport more fun, because a sport that you struggle at can't, like, it's not, the most ideal, which is why I'm not exactly in love with volleyball, but it's fun to play. And so Dom, you said that you were on JV last year.
Mm-hmm.
What were some things that you kind of realized you had to focus on? Because I feel like during every offseason, there's a player should focus on one or two things specifically they got to work on in the offseason to like really stand out. And I know you said free throws, but what are some other things that you maybe had to do to realize you could secure a spot on varsity?
So I knew I had a limited time, and we all got the same amount of time handed to us, and it just comes down to who's going to take the most of it and work as hard as you can. And the outcome of that will be however hard you work. That'll go into your game, and that'll start showing out. So
that's facts. And Isaiah, so last year you're new to Kings this year. This is your first year. Last year you had 248 kills. You were, I believe, second in the state for kill percentage. Is that correct?
Yes.
So that's huge. And I mean, you're a big-time player coming to what I would say is a big-time volleyball school. We in only the second-year program last year, we made it to the state Final Four. I was on the team. It was a lot of fun. We went 26-2. So tell me how a big-time player like you has kind of liked coming to the environment of a big-time school.
Yeah, my last school, we had a losing record, and it's not easy to carry a team. Like, there's 6 people on the court, so everybody has to equally pull their weight in order for the team to be successful. So coming to Kings, it's really humbled me to see that everybody's good here. Everybody has the equal talent. You just got to work a little bit harder to get your position and earn your spot.
Yeah. I mean, you don't really have to earn anything because, I mean, you're like the best athlete in Kings. So that's that's pretty good. So I'm super honored and excited to see you out on that volleyball court. I know I'm a part of the team, but Dom, I can imagine, will be popping out to some games, and he's gonna for sure. He's gonna be excited to see you possibly pop the ball on a spike, because that's entertaining. And Dom, something I want to cover with you as well is, like I had already mentioned, you were on JV last year. Not to bring that up again, but what?
Wait, what are you gonna say?
But JV, you guys going from what I would say was a struggling JV program, and we were a standout varsity program in the county last year, and you knew you had to work. So like, basically, what were some things, like, were there any guys you looked up to last year on a standout varsity team that you kind of helped build your game after, or anything to know you could secure a spot on varsity this year?
James Schoenfeld, I feel like I just looked at his game. He's a real simple player, and if you practice the simplistics of basketball, you can put it all together and be really great at it. Yeah. So I feel like that's what I tried to do.
Fundamentals. Hey, knock down mid-range, you got that on lock. I must say that. And you, are there any like college volleyball players, or like even a family member, because I know your mom played volleyball, your dad played volleyball. Is there any like did your dad play volleyball?
No.
What do you play?
Basketball.
Oh yeah. So your dad played basketball. Your mom played volleyball, right? All right. So is there anyone that you kind of like you take more points from than anyone you would say? Like, is there a certain coach that you have from volleyball that's really kind of stood out to the rest and like found like helped you grow as a player the most?
Yeah, I got 2 coaches that really inspired me: Mike Zerati and Chevin Morris.
I actually know them.
Yeah.
Yeah, super great people.
Yeah, Chevin was like a father to me. He really wanted to expand my skill in volleyball and wanted to like actually work with me. He saw potential in me in my 14 year, so I was pretty
14
excited.
was that like 2 years ago? Last year?
That was 2 years ago. Yeah.
So you're 16 now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Yeah. So him and Mike Zerati. Mike Zerati is like, he's a very disciplined guy and he wants the best out of all of his players.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just really excited to work with him because I could really find my game and show my game and prove it to the rest because he has a great connection with college coaches.
Yeah.
I feel like working with him is going to be my best way and finding my way to college and hopefully pro.
That's great. And we'll probably see you there because, I mean, as only a sophomore, you were 6'8" with a 40-inch vert. So, I mean, you're bound for greatness. So now we're going to get a little more personal on the side of things. So is there any one player that you would maybe say was your favorite person to play with on the Kings Academy varsity basketball team? Like, is there any one player that either was your favorite player to play with or favorite player to watch or even just someone you just kind of found as a good friend?
I would say Joe Daly. I feel like when we team up at practice or in games, we're just unbeatable. His staggering defense that sometimes gets himself dunked on. I feel like when you put it together with my offensive skill set, we can't lose. We can't lose.
So what do you mean by sometimes get dunked on?
Well, as some people may know, in the last game against what was that school called? Santa Fe Catholic. It was about 6 minutes left. Joe Daly was standing in the paint, and their 6'6" center came down the lane, boom on his head. Crowd went crazy. Technical fouls everywhere. People were running on the court. It was insane. The security had to clear everyone.
Didn't a fight break out too?
A fight.
I feel like a fight broke out in like the third row. I just remember it was crazy.
I remember that.
Isaiah had to break him up. It was
Exactly.
man. It was absolute madness. So Joe Daly has really stood out to you just as a player.
Yeah.
And I know during our one of our defensive drills, you, Joe, Hudson Champion, and is it Isaiah? They always we kind of separate the teams here and there during like each day in practice, but those are a 4 that we know is always going to be together, and that is a team that fouls like no other.
And
They
also,
do not play
lose.
defense.
We don't
They
lose.
hack like crazy.
We don't lose.
You don't lose because
We
you
don't
take
lose.
people's knees, you take people's
That
ankles.
shows we're a hustle team. We're out there to really hustle, put the ball in the basket. That's all we do.
You guys don't play you don't put the ball in the basket. It's a defensive drill.
Okay, you have to score to go on defense, and every
That's
time
one
we score to
possession.
go on defense.
And you, all right, whatever. All right, so is there any one player on basketball and volleyball? You can start with basketball. Is there any one player that's really stood out to you that you like to be with or play with or just kind of hang out with more so than the others?
I like to shout out Andrew Cinderella.
Cinderella.
Yeah,
Rip
yeah,
Sig.
Rip Sig, R.I.P. Sig,
Rip
long live
Sig.
Sig.
yeah. I miss him, although he didn't get to finish the season
Sad
with
story.
us. He was still a great player, and he was just a great person to be around. He was pretty kind, and he took a lot of our jokes to heart.
To heart? Yeah, he didn't find them to be jokes.
Yeah, so he was pretty funny.
All right,
Sig,
and
man.
now, what?
I miss Sig, man.
Go join him at Gardens. Hey, can we get him a tissue? Do you have a tissue?
No,
It was fun, bro.
You're good.
Just miss you, Sig.
Hey, chin up. All right, so is there any one player on volleyball that you really like to play with, or like you find that just kind of brings out the best in you, like personality wise and playing wise? Here, at least at Kings.
Mike Katumis.
Stud.
I really like him. I like him a lot. He's helped me find my LSC and
What's that?
light skin capabilities.
Oh,
Oh.
yeah. That's good.
And I've been really proud to play with him. USA player, made Team Florida. I feel like I feel like we could find a bond together and find a connection as a setter and an outside hitter to be great and destined for
greatness.
Greatness.
Yeah. You're basically like you're born for greatness though, because you're like just the athletic capabilities that you have with being 6'8" with a 40-inch vert. Like I feel like you're kind of destined to be great, you know. So I think we covered pretty much everything right now. So 100% best free throw shooter in the state, probably, maybe in the country.
In the country.
Top 2 hitter in the state. He's coming for that number 1 spot, and we're looking to get a state ring. Although we may have fell short in basketball, he's still got next season. I got college next year. But we're ready to chase that ring for volleyball. And this has been the Jungle Podcast. Thank you for joining us. We will see you next week.